Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and I'm here today to share with you how I'm going to create this very clean and simple card. Now I have a full A2 size white cardstock panel here, and this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to be using the Two Paper Divas stamp. This is called Banana Split and it is a banana split stamp. But I will be using this stamp set along with the Junk Food Alley Sentiment stamp set from Two Paper Divas. Now I used the Sentiment stamp set last week when I created some punch art. I created a punch art popcorn card. I will leave that link in the top right hand corner if you want to go check out that video just to get some more ideas for the same stamp set. But today I am going to go ahead and place this Banana Split stamp set I'm going to place that right in the center at the top of this white cardstock panel. I'm also going to go ahead and pull out the Get Out and Celebrate Lickety Split Sentiment from the Junk Food Alley Sentiment set. Again, these are from Two Paper Divas. And I will just peel that off that backing paper that it comes on, and I will just place that right underneath that Banana Split stamp. Now, there's a close-up of all those sentiments, and just looking at them, tons of ideas, especially for punch art with these cards, but there are also a few other stamps that are over on the Two Paper Divas site that go along with this sentiment set. So I'm going to go ahead and line those up, and I was able to look through my MISTI to make sure that sentiment was nice and straight, and then I'm inking them up with Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'll just go ahead and flip that lid over and stamp these right down onto that cardstock panel. Now because I'm using Memento, I'm going to go ahead and double stamp just so I get a nice richer black color. You can see the stamps themselves stamp very well, but Memento ink just does not give you a nice rich black color, but I'll be coloring this in with alcohol markers, so it's the ink I needed to use. So I'll go ahead and pull this out, and then I'm going to start coloring with my alcohol markers. Now I am keeping this coloring very traditional. I'm using a basic banana split as a guideline. So I'm starting out with some vanilla ice cream. I'll use 2 different colors of ivory just to give it a little bit of blending and shading. And then I will move on to the right hand side and I will color that in pink for strawberry. Again, I'll be using 2 different colors of pink for that. But you'll see on the left hand side of the screen little papers coming in and out. Those are my swatch sheets. I just try not to put them in the whole video, but you got a little peek of them there, and those are for free over on my blog for the Dick Blick Studio brush markers if you want to go check that out. So I'll go ahead and color this little ice cream scoop in with 2 different colors of pinks, and then I will move on to the left hand side, and that will be the chocolate ice cream. Now again, I'm just going to do some very light shading. I'll just use 2 different colors of brown, and I always start off with my lighter color, and I fill in the entire area, the entire image that I'm coloring. So I'll go ahead and fill this entire little scoop in with the lighter brown. Then I come in with my darker brown, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading. Now I am no expert with shading. I try, but it works sometimes, it doesn't. But I went ahead and filled that in, and then I came back in with my lighter marker and just colored over the entire thing to really get that dark blended out. Now for my little cherries on top, I'm using 2 different colors of red. Again, light, dark, then light again. I use that pattern over and over on this entire card. Now for the spoon, I'm going to keep it a gray or a silver. So again, lighter, and then I will come in with some flicks on the bottom and the top of the spoon of darker gray, and then blend it out with the lighter one. Now you will see there is 2 little ends of banana. There's one on the right and one on the left as well. So I'll use 2 different colors of yellow for that. And then I was really going to try and leave my whipped cream white. However, I did have a little bit of bleeding, so I just came in with some very light whites. It's actually called antique white. And I just added a little bit of that in just to give it a little bit of color, and I'll come in with another buttercream color, and that will really just smooth out those colors, and it gives the whipped cream a little bit of color without being overpowering. So I wanted to keep this card very gender neutral, I guess you could say. So I'm going to use some blues on the boat and some red on the stripes. So really, this is going to be one of those cards I can have ready to go for whoever has a birthday coming up. This would work for an adult, for a kid, for a man, for a woman, you name it, it's gonna work. So I'll go ahead and I'm just adding some darker blue now where I think the shading should go. And then I'll come back in with my lighter blue and just blend out that darker color. Now for the stripes, I'm going to go ahead and color those red. I was going to try and do a 3-color stripe. It didn't work out, so I went ahead with just one big red stripe on this. These stamps, you really want to go ahead and use the very tip of your marker. So if you need practice with doing that, these are the stamps for you. So I'll go ahead and use the very tip of my marker to get in those very small spaces. I'll come in with this darker red and add some shading to the left and right side, and then blend that out with my lighter red color. Now I wanted to add just a little shadow, and that will finish the card off. So I am just going to go ahead and use my darker gray, add a little shadow underneath that boat, I guess you could say. And I will just put this down and try and follow the shape that is above the color that I am putting down. Then I'll come in with my lighter gray and blend out that darker gray. Now on a clean and simple card style, there is always something that just kind of takes it away from the look of just stamping a stamp down and coloring it in, and this shadow is what does it for this card. So that is really important, I think, to get that in there. Now to finish this card off, all I'm going to do is add some double-sided adhesive to all 4 of the sides here, because I want this to lay nice and flat on my card base and make it appear as if it is a 1-layer card. However, I didn't want the bleed through on the inside of this card. So you can see I am adding quite a bit of adhesive here, and then I will also put some in the center so it lays nice and flat. Then I'll go ahead and use my bone folder to really smooth this down. Now this is a trick I've started doing because I had trouble peeling up the backing paper on my double-sided adhesive, but this trick saves me every time. I just run my bone folder across the little pieces of tape that are on here, and then the backing paper just peels right away. Now I have my card base ready to go. It's just an A2 white top folding card base, nothing fancy at all. And I'll just peel off this backing paper, and then I'm just going to lay this panel over the entire card front, and that's going to make it appear as if it's a 1-layer card without the bleed through on the inside. Now if you don't mind the bleed through on the inside, you could by all means just stamp this stamp on the front of the card, color it in, and you're ready to go. You could completely skip this step. I wanted to keep it nice and clean on the inside, so I just added this little extra step in. Now you want to make sure that your card is facing the right way. I've done it one too many times where I've just messed the card up in the end, so I always try and check before I put on my panels. I'll go ahead and line this up with the top of the card base, and then I'll just press it down until it is flat against the card base. Now you'll notice on the inside when I open this, I have a little bit of overhang, but all I need to do is grab out my long Fisker scissors and just chop that off so it's flush with the bottom of the card base as well. You could also use a sanding block here. I just find the scissors a little bit faster and easier to use, but that will finish off the card for today. I do want to mention this card took me only 18 minutes from start to finish, so if you're in need of a quick birthday card, this one is so easy to pull off in a limited amount of time. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will leave you with this close-up and just a few pictures. For more information and the supply list, you can head to my blog craftingwhilecaffeinated.wordpress.com. The link is in the description box below, as well as the I in the top right hand corner. That will get you there too. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and happy crafting!